Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to get working at a couple of trees that I think because of the time that I got them as like nursery rescues, they were confused as to what season it was, and so for whatever reason, they lacked the early ramification that a lot of my trees from seed have. So these are nursery rescues. This first one is going to be blueberry, vaccinium, corybosum, or Blu-ray, and I've given it one pruning before today, and then it was late last fall when I did it, so it just didn't have any more branching going into dormancy. So early this spring, when I was pruning a lot of my other deciduous trees that had like a second branching coming out last year, this one I just kind of left because it really looked great. It didn't have any cross branching going on. All of the branching and leaves were in, proper size with the trunk, but now it's grown like insane, which is cool. And so we're going to take a look at it, prune it in hopes that we could get some more branching and tighter leaves and things like that for a second growth now that it's kind of late spring, early summer. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so common problem, trying to find the right lighting to get some good video clarity when you're dealing with the sun. So anyways, so what we have going on here is I left this on because I wanted it to become a split trunk and increase the canopy. As you see, it's in a larger pot, so it's going to be a larger bonsai. And so that I'm happy with because this is starting to thicken up and harden up. And I bet with another year's growth, it should match the color and texture of the trunk over here. Now, some people may leave these on and call them sacrificial branches to thicken the base of the trunk up and leave them all season and then prune them off. But I really want this to look nice this season and appreciate it throughout the summer. So I'm going to get rid of those because the trunk is already looking nice. It's way thicker below where it comes up and divides, so the taper's there. So anyways, it would be up to you and your preference for this specific tree and what I want to get out of it this season. I'm removing it. All right, cool. So I can't remember, if I put pesticide granules in this as a pest protection or prevention. So we're not going to eat the blueberries on this, even though, babe, you getting close on this? We got some really nice large blueberries, some green ones down here. So that's cool. I'm really excited to have a fruiting tree that actually, is fruiting already, because as you know, if you're growing from seed or have younger trees, if you have an avocado or citrus or things like that, it's going to take a while before you actually get the fruit. An apple. Okay, so I think I'm going to go around now and shorten up like the really muscular growth to 1 or 2 sets of leaves, and then we'll see if there's any cross branching or ugliness we want to get out of there. So when this came out, since it came out for spring, like really early May, maybe even like May 1 through the 5th, something like that, it already had a lot of leaf growth from inside. So some of the upper leaves here have turned like a reddish brown. So like they're ugly too. So that's also what I want to do, is remove some of those. Some dieback from the last time I pruned it. And I'll just knit. This one's growing straight up and then back towards the rest of the canopy, so I'm going to take it back hard, and maybe we get something coming out this way from it. If not, I'll just remove that entirely next time. But as you see, I hate to do that because this would be all that was left on this long branch, even though I really like this branch. So I don't want to take that out. And I'm just snipping between the leaves, more towards the part that I'm removing, so that I leave, you know, a ½ inch to an inch of room for dieback. I haven't worked with these long enough to remember or know how much they die back, but judging based off of last year, this is a good rule of thumb, leave at least a ½ inch. And this branch is growing directly back towards in there. There's really nothing good about it, so I'm going to take that all the way back. Gone. And that actually gives this branch an opportunity, and it's way more attractive. So this one here, it's growing back across everything, pretty ugly. So I'll take it all the way back to its first set, like with the others. Maybe we'll get with the sun, encourage it to grow outwards to increase our canopy and fill it in. That's what I'm looking for with this one. It's a nice full canopy, an attractive split trunk, you know, and you get closer, you could look up and see how it divides going up, but otherwise a nice full canopy. And with just the nature of the delicate branching and leaves, it'll naturally weep a little bit. So these two are pretty much doing the same thing. And then there's one below. I like that one best, so I'll take these back hard, give that thing an opportunity. And if you're new getting into bonsai and the pruning part intimidates you, if you look at the whole thing, it will overwhelm you. But if you start with your technique, you know, of bringing back the branches that you don't want at all, taking them off entirely, and then kind of working your way around using the same technique, like taking them back a little bit. You don't have to take them back this hard at first. Just take them back a little bit, and you could have a chance to look at the structure. And then it'll go from there. I've heard that a lot with people pruning for the first time, like they don't know where to start, and it's like, just start. And if you over prune or something like that, most likely it'll come back and you can do it better the next time. So for me, this is the start of year 4 of bonsai, so I'm just starting to get where my seedlings are becoming trees and my nursery trees are getting trained to the point where they're at least pre-bonsai. So you learn seasonally what to do, when to do it, and I'm literally just getting to that point where I've learned my trees and what they do through the seasons and how I'm going to treat them, like winterizing them and bringing them out for spring and summer. I would say for me, the most intimidating and hardest part of bonsai is the repotting. I have lost a lot of trees that way, and it drives me crazy. So anyways, that would be what I least like. All right, babe, why don't you get it close up here, and spin around, because I think that's it. Yes, probably the least attractive pot I have. But I was looking around, unless it's just another nursery pot, I really don't have anything this size, so there's no point in risking it. We've had some high days, 90s, 90 Fahrenheit, so no sense in repotting right now. So I think either that would be my front, or I got a little bit of dead wood down here that might be interesting, and that would be my front. What do you think, babe?
I like that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's going to do it for this episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Coming right up after this one is going to be a Jim Dandy Winterberry, same kind of thing. I got it bare rooted from a nursery rescue, and it was really confused last year as to what season it is and was. So we're going to right its wrongs, get its first pruning ever done. And yeah, so for now, that's the end of my blueberry bonsai. Hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe, notification bell, so you could get many more like these. I'm Jared Paul. Take care, y'all. Cheers.